The new equipment's working.
Awesome, man. Good deal.
What what's up, guys? Tech Tony here with, as usual, playing around with my new gear, trying to make it do things that it probably shouldn't be doing. For those of you that are listening on the podcast, you can't see the new gear or the new stuff. So I highly recommend you check me out on YouTube as well so you can see what Tech Tony's messing around with. But today I got a special guest. Not only a guest, he's a friend. We go to church together. This is Bruce with Bruce's Bees. Bruce, tell everyone about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live right here locally in Dothan, Alabama, and I'm actually a physical therapist. Is my real job, and but I've got honeybees on the side, which is really it's really my passion. I love it, and just have a blast with it. I started off a few years ago. Actually, got my first bees in 2013, and a year later, I had a major finger injury. And so I had some time off, and my daughters have been playing around with YouTube a little bit. So I had them kind of show me a little bit about YouTube and kind of how to upload videos. Didn't really have a clue what I was doing. Just shot all the footage on my old Android phone, and those old videos are not very good at all. But I started off there. I got tired of it after a while, and just kind of quit doing it. But then I got back into it kind of seriously in 2018. I actually had another surgery on my finger where they went ahead and took it off. It was better that way and needed to be done.
Wait,
And
you're missing
so
a finger? Oh, I had no idea. I know you for how long? I didn't pay attention to
I
that.
know the doc did a good job, didn't he?
No, he did do a good job. Yeah. For those of you listening to the podcast, Bruce has 4 fingers in one hand.
Yeah. So I say I'll see you at let's see what I do. I say I'll see you at 6, and I hold this hand up with my 2 fingers, and people are like, they have to look at me a couple times to see what the heck I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah. So anyway,
Injury
so when
put you down so you couldn't deal with the bees?
what's that?
Did the injury put you down so you couldn't deal with the bees?
No, I was able to. I still kind of did some stuff one handed with the first injury, and then the second one, I figured out a way. I figured out ways. I'm always figuring out ways to get in those bees, no matter what. But so that second, around the time I think I had my second injury, it was in 2018, I think. Around that time, I decided to get serious about YouTube, and it may have been even a little bit before that. I'm not sure exactly how everything went in order, but I decided to find out really how to, I heard of people making money on YouTube, monetizing, and heard of people really trying to, obviously we know there's some really huge YouTubers out there that are making a lot of money. And I didn't even know what it took to become monetized, really knew nothing about it, but I started just researching and figured out the requirements. And then I just started trying to create better videos, and I still have a long ways to go, but I've learned a lot along the way, and I've been able to develop somewhat of a following. It's not near as many people as I'd like it to be, but it's growing slowly but surely. And so I post videos usually 1 to 2 a week on average. And there's always an adventure going on in the bee yard. So there's always something to film. If I just have the energy or have the desire to pull out the camera or the phone and record it, I've always got some kind of, footage or some sort of content to create. The bees create that for me.
You said you started YouTube video first back in 2013?
Actually 2014. It was a year later when I injured my finger, and I kind of was like a little bit bored and just thought it'd be kind of fun to share what I was doing, more like a vlog type of a thing. And it is a vlog, but it's actually a little bit more than that now. It's kind of turned into its own animal. It's not just a vlog. There's some kind of how-to videos, showing what I do, not necessarily how to do it, but kind of what I do. We have a group called the Stream Team. So beekeeping chat, me and a couple of buddies have started that thing up, and it's become fairly successful. We do that usually on Wednesday nights at 7 at Bruce's. Well, we rotate between our 3 channels. Tomorrow night it'll be Castle Hives. Mine is Bruce's Bees, and then Nature's Image Farm is the other channel we do it on. We rotate through, and that's grown into a pretty good following. And
do any of you guys do it full time, or all of you doing this part time, having fun making content with it?
Yeah, well, Greg Burns, the Nature's Image Farm guy, he does the bees and homesteading full time, but the YouTube channel is it's just like a supplemental thing. It's kind of an opportunity to share what we're doing, and those guys both have products they sell. And Greg Burns has like a bee store. He sells bee supplies, and he sells bees and queens and things. And Brian, the Castle Hives, Brian Coper has some of the little products he sells. And I've just got YouTube and my bees, and I sell a lot of honey, but I don't sell much. I'm trying to figure out ways to maybe start selling my honey through the YouTube channel, maybe get more of a website or a presence online to sell more of my honey. But I don't really have a product, a Bruce's Bees type product that's unique to me, except for the honey. And so I need to work on that. But I know YouTube is, AdSense is a little bit of money, but it's not a platform you're gonna make. You got to have a huge audience, a huge following to really make a lot of money through AdSense. I do make some.
So you're monetized right now.
Yes, I've been monetized.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations with that.
Well, I've got about 16,700 subscribers, and so it's a pretty good size little channel. But I've been monetized for a while. I had a video back in it may have been 2018 or 2019 that went for me viral. It's called the Dealing with the Mean Hive of Honeybees video. And I look back at it, I don't think it's a very good video, but people like it. And then that kind of got me monetized, and then steadily grew slowly for a while. And then last spring in 2021, there's a guy down in Florida that had some abandoned hives on his property. He wanted to get into beekeeping, and they just been on his property for years. And so he said, "Hey, why don't you come down and go through these bees with me and kind of tell me what you think." And so we did that. It's just called, going through an abandoned hive of honeybees or something like that. And that one's got like 400,000 views. It kind of took off on me pretty good. That's my most popular video, it still gets quite a few views. And then I've had a few here or there that've gotten a few views as well, quite a few, but most of them, it's a reasonable amount, but it's not like I'd like them all to go viral, but that just doesn't happen. And I don't have any. When you say viral, I guess it depends on what you mean by viral. Some people consider viral. Some people consider viral to be like 2 million views. Well, I don't have any that have done that, but if mine go up to a couple 100,000, 100,000, 200,000, to me, that's kind of viral for me. That's pretty good.
No, it's different. What did you start with recording? You said you had an old Android phone when you first started doing it.
Yeah, it was like an Android 6 or something. It was back in 2014. So, and then when I came back into it, I had an iPhone 6S as well I was using, and that was pretty good. Then I went up to the iPhone 10. Since I've been doing YouTube, I've kind of tried to get the upper level, the best iPhones for the quality. And so I had an iPhone 10, whatever it was, the best one. And then I've got iPhone 13 Pro, which I use this actually, the video quality on this thing is better than I think it's better than the camera I use. I've got an M50 that I use, a Canon M50. But the sound on the iPhone, the problem is it captures every little sound. Like if one of my bee yards is close to a highway, and so every car that goes by you can hear. It doesn't have very good noise cancellation, and so you got every noise that you can catch it. If you're out and kind of out in the middle of nowhere and it's kind of quiet, this works really well. And if not, I've got a microphone I use. I might be able to use it with this phone too. I haven't figured that out yet. It's got an app. I use a Smart Mic Plus is what I use for my sound quality. And that has a noise cancellation. So if I'm in the bees and it's real loud and the bees are buzzing everywhere, it's pretty impressive. But then as soon as I start talking, it cancels the bees out. So you can hear me pretty well. I like that a lot. And, but the video quality M50 is fine. I've done a lot of videos strictly with it. But sometimes if I see something I really want people to see in the hive when I'm in there, like if I see a queen, for example, and I want to show that, I'll keep talking and I'll whip out the iPhone and videotape it with the iPhone. And then in my editing software, I'll put a B-roll from the iPhone over I'll keep the sound from the M50 from the Smart Mic, and it just works out really well that way. So I've always got my iPhone in my pocket. Many times I'm filming with the M50 on a tripod. I try to get different angles of things, and I'm pretty much a one-man crew, so I got to figure out how to do things. And I'd like to have a videographer that could be there taking video all the time, but it just doesn't work out that way very often. So I'm pretty much got to figure out ways to do it myself. And I've figured out ways to put the camera kind of over my shoulder so you can hopefully see what I'm seeing. And I've just tried different things. And so, but with bees, there's always a surprise. You never know what they're going to do. You go in the bee yard one day thinking you're going to do one thing, you end up doing something else, or there might be a swarm hanging in a tree, or they might be really feisty, or you might have some hives that have died out. So there's all kinds of things. There's always content to be had when you're working with bees. You just got to figure out what you think the audience might want to see, or if you have the energy or time to to fool with the camera setup and everything and try and capture everything. Cause you can capture, like every time I go out, I could capture a video, but then I can't, it's just impossible to find the time to edit everything and get it all posted.
That's what I'm trying. Like, one of the biggest things I want business owners that are listening to this podcast is to understand that you can just start with whatever the heck you've got in your hand, pretty
Mhm.
much. You started off with a very low quality type phone back in the day. What made you change your gears to actually start taking YouTube more seriously?
I just wanted to get better. First of all, I got burned out with YouTube, and I actually had a few videos that did quite well back then, but there weren't a lot of guys doing beekeeping videos on YouTube back then. There was a few.
Mm.
Now there's a lot of people trying to do it, and so there's a lot of competition. But when I decided I wanted to get monetized, I decided I wanted to figure this YouTube thing out, see kind of how it works. I just decided to kind of try to get better and try to improve, and I'm still doing that. I'm still a long ways from where I want to be. Just simply I'm not very technology savvy, so I've got everything I do. It's like a learning curve. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
is really super easy. Everything just takes me forever to figure out, and so I still got a lot to learn. And there's always something that frustrates me with the technology, trying to get it edited or trying to figure things out. It's always just aggravating to me. And just trying to figure out the algorithm. I mean, just trying to, they say better quality videos, you try and improve and get better each time. But I the most viral probably beekeeping video ever that I know of is a friend
Mm-hmm.
of mine. He's got like 25 million views on a video or more, maybe pushing 30 million views now. And he basically just pulled out he had a Galaxy phone. He's got all the equipment. He's a YouTuber guy. He's a
Mm-hmm.
firefighter YouTuber, and he does bee removals. But his most viral video, name of his channel is Yappy Bee Man. And back last spring, there was a cool swarm, and he had it pulled out his phone. He didn't have anything else, and just recorded it, like holding it up here while he was catching the swarm, shook the bees, caught the queen, everything right there. He even set his phone down for a while you couldn't see what was going on for a few seconds while he made some adjustments, kept everything running live and just posted it. That joker's got like 25 million views on that video. So the best videos,
Golly.
the best videos are, I don't know if the best videos is the way to put it, but the ones you work the hardest on aren't always the ones that go viral. They're not always the ones that hit. And so that's one thing that's frustrating. Some of my most popular videos have been ones where I saw something kind of cool, pulled out the phone, videotaped it, uploaded it, cut
Well,
out some of the fat,
you
and there
can't
we
really
go.
script anything when you walk out there with the bees. You're doing this you're making this video whether they want you or not, right?
Well, you can script. You can't script it with the bees, but you can kind of have a plan in mind. Like today, I'm going to show what a strong hive looks like or whatever, and then you can go and you can open them up and start going through them. But they'll throw you curveballs. They get curveballs all the time. I mean, they don't read the books. They don't get on YouTube and see how they're supposed to act. I mean, they do their own thing, and that's one thing that's cool about it is very unpredictable. It's a different experience every time, and it's a lot of fun that way. And as I've gotten a little bigger, I've made a lot of friends in the YouTube community, the beekeeping community, and it's been fun to share kind of what they're doing as well. Really a lot of the guys, probably they're the bigger channels. I've met all of
Mhm.
them, know all of them a little, kind of, and so I want to be like them. But as far as like you mentioned, the thing is about YouTube is like you said though, you'll get paralyzed if you think you have to create a perfect video for your first video.
Yes,
You
that's
gotta
so
you gotta
true.
just pick up your phone and just go out and record something, kind of get an idea of what you want to do, upload it. Nowadays with YouTube Shorts, I don't do a lot of those. A lot of people do, but it's so simple. It's a minute or less, and you just go out and you just record something and you upload it. I mean, you just got to figure out the technology, figure out what you're doing, and there's probably one of my favorite YouTube quote unquote educational channels is called Think Media,
Mhm.
and one of their mottos is you just got to press record.
Yeah. No,
If that
I
makes
can't.
sense.
I was talking to another marketer of mine. He's like, you gotta allow yourself to make 100 bad videos before you make them and post them, type of situation. Make the videos and post the videos. Because I talk to too many business owners. That's one of the reasons why I like talking to you, because I talk to too many business owners and they either just don't do it at all, or they have it and it's just saved and they're doing nothing with it. And earlier before we hopped on, you told me you recorded 2 videos today, right? That you're getting ready to edit them.
Well, over the weekend, I did one on Friday when we pulled the honey off the hives, and I did another one Saturday with our actual extraction party that we had, where we got the honey out of the comb and into the buckets. And so, and they'll be fun. Every year I kind of do one on each of those things because it's kind of interesting to people. They want to know how honey is produced, where it comes from, how we pull it, how we get it away from the bees, how we actually get it in buckets or bottles or whatever. And so that's always an interesting thing for people to see. And so, and it's fun because I have a lot of people, beekeepers are generally really good people for the most part. They're real friendly and they were hard workers. And so we had a good crew show up and helped out, and it was a lot of fun. And, but I've got a lot of footage that I've got to figure out. That's another thing people don't realize, I had a guy, I think Sunday afternoon, the day after we extracted the honey, that was like, where's the video? I'm like, look, dude, I'm trying to catch my breath from 10 to 12-hour days working in the bees.
How long do you normally spend editing videos in my mask? Because I don't edit that much myself.
Well, I think on average, probably 6 to 8 hours. So, but there's some that I just are real quick and easy. I've done some where I just go out, I see something cool, I videotape it, and it's not a lot of editing at all. But the ones where I get as much, the problem is if you film too much, there's a lot more editing that's got to take place. And so, and I want to create an experience for everyone that's going to keep them interested and show kind of the whole comprehensive view of what's going on, but not do it in a 45-minute video. If I just slapped all the segments together, and I could do that and upload them, the videos would be 30 minutes long, but nobody wants to watch a 30-minute long video. And so, when you're trying to produce it, not to say, now some people are able to create videos that keep people's attention for that long, but I found that I can't seem to do that very well. And so I try to keep mine down to about 8 to 15 minutes. And so, I do a lot of editing, not that I'm trying to cut out stuff that I don't want people to see. It's more like I just want to cut out the dead space, or the things that are just like, for example, if I'm going into a beehive and I'm pulling out the frames of the comb out of the hive to look at the bees, nobody really cares about me reaching down and pulling that out. And so, breaking the frames apart to get them out. And so that takes probably 15 to 20 seconds each time you do that. So I'll just edit that little clip out so they can see what's on the next frame without having to watch me go down. Now, I may do it 1 or 2 times. And once I've done it 1 or 2 times, nobody wants to watch me do that 20 times or 15 times as they go through the colony. And so those are some little tricks of things that I do. I try to there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of different cuts you can do, a lot of different, effects you can put in there that help. And I'm just learning that kind of stuff.
What programs are you using for those listening? What do you use so maybe they could try it out themselves?
I use Wondershare, Filmora 11 right now. There's all kinds of them though. I was just using iMovie on my phone. See, up until about a little over a year ago, probably back last spring, maybe early summer, I'd use my iPhone iMovie to do everything. Now, originally when I used my Android, I did some stuff on the computer, but I had no idea what I was doing. Whatever the basic editing program was on the computer, it was like Movie Maker or something like that, or whatever it was. It was something like that, whatever it was. And you can't do a whole lot with that. But in the iPhone, I'm like, that was the first step. I'm like, how do I edit a video on iMovie? I know you can do it on my phone. And so the first 3 years I did all my videos on my iPhone, but it got to where I just wasn't able to, on the phone app for iMovie, you just can't do as much stuff with that as far as like adding in effects, adding in music and things like that. There's not as many options. So I wanted to do something a little bit better, and I upgraded to the Wondershare Filmora, and I like it. You can do a lot more with it than what I really want to do with it. And of course there's like a pro version that's almost like movie quality, and you've got some other things out there that are even better. But I don't need, it's a beekeeping channel. It doesn't have to be cinema quality. I'm not trying to make a movie. Just trying to share my experience. And you can do pretty much everything I need to do. You can you can move the words around. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can do different types of cuts, and you can zoom in and out. You can speed it up, slow it down. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can bring music into it, and you can do B-rolls and really everything you need to do. You can do with Filmora Wondershare Filmora 11. And it's about like $50 a year, I think, or something like that, which isn't bad.
No, you're currently invested in some programs.
Oh yeah, everything I do pretty much goes back into the channel or the bees. And I try to, this setup I got right here with this microphone, and got some lights for the studio. We started doing these live videos back at the first of the year. That's a new thing I've started doing, is learning how to do the lives a little bit. And so, invested in, I got a little webcam up here that we're using. And so I've just invested in some things, got a second screen over here if I need to pull things up. And so it's
Mhm.
just things here or there. And the YouTube channel pretty much pays for all that stuff with the little bit I'm making from the AdSense mostly. But I also, with the live chats, you do have super chats available, super stickers and things like that people can send to you during the live chats. And on
Mhm.
YouTube, for those who are not aware, there's a product called a super thanks on any video. If you're monetized and if it's enabled on your channel, it's like a little heart with a dollar sign. You can go on there and you can donate if if you just want to donate $5 or whatever to the person. If you like the video or the content, you can do that at any time. Used to be you had to be live to do super chats and super stickers to donate a certain amount, but now you can donate to your favorite content creators. Just if they've got that little heart thing on there into the, like, right by the description in the video, you can just donate
Mhm.
5, 10, 15, 100, but whatever you want to donate, you can do that. And it's really a neat feature. I think it's pretty new. Most people don't even know what it is, but those are some things
I
that
haven't
help.
heard that yet. That's the first time I've heard of it.
Those are some
Sounds
things that
interesting.
help. They really help a lot. So, we had live chats. We'll have a few people, usually they'll donate some money, and it's just very much appreciated. And what we're doing on our live chats with the stream team is,
Mhm.
we're trying to put that money back into giveaways and gifts and things for people. Of course, we'll use it to help our channels or whatever, but we're going to give away next week. We're going to give away $859 product on our channel for folks. And so we've, our viewers, our fans have bought into us. And so we're trying to give back to them, trying to figure things out. And so it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, man. I really enjoy it. It's really my passion is the bees, and the YouTube. Just trying to figure it out is almost as much of a passion as the bees are in some ways, but it can be exhausting because you just get, and I think anytime you're a content creator, you could become discouraged and just kind of fatigued
All the
very
time.
quickly because you just hard to gain traction. And, you see people out there, getting a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, and you think, man, what am I doing wrong? But then you realize that even if you're monetized, you're probably in the top, 5-10% of all people on YouTube. Almost everybody out there doesn't ever get to that point. And so it's really,
Much less make content because there's so many consumers. It's because people look at their industry and they're like, well, there's already people making videos. Well, yeah, but go look at the people making videos and go look at the people that view. There's always more consumers than there are
for sure.
creators.
Well, that's the way it is. Like, just think about sports. You've got the athletes on the field, and you've got the cameraman, you've got the studio, and you got the TV lights, you got everything, and you got the producers, but you got millions of fans watching. It's always going to be that way. And that's the key. That's what you got to figure out as a producer, as a content creator, is what do people want to see? That's the difficult thing to figure out, that formula. And not
Mhm.
only what do they want to see, but on YouTube, I think they put a lot of value in how long they stay on the platform. So
That's
they're
true. Yeah.
if they're watching your channel, and they watch 3 minutes of a 10-minute video and click off and never come back to your channel, YouTube's probably gonna be less likely to recommend you to other people. But if they watch your channel and they move on to the next video that you produce and the next video that you produce, or other videos that you might recommend from if you are responsible for keeping people on YouTube, then YouTube is going to be more likely to recommend you and get you in that, more in the search engine and recommend you. And you're the expert on the SEO stuff. I know on the optimization stuff. That's what you do, Anthony. So, but that's the key, I think, with YouTube. And I don't know if anybody really knows what the real form. There are very few people who have figured out the formula for YouTube. Most people are still trying to figure it out. But
All the time figuring it out.
I think bottom
Playing.
line is get views and get time on the platform. And
It.
some people have done it with multiple short videos that, like 4 or 5 minute videos that just people want to go from that one to the next one. And some
Mhm.
people just do it by having longer videos, realizing that people are probably going to be on there for 50 or 6% of that video, but just keeping them on the platform longer on those videos. I think the live videos really get you a lot of time. They get you a lot of minutes on YouTube, especially if you stay on there for a while and you got quite a few people watching. So that's another advantage. And then the shorts, I think shorts are more designed to get people interested in your channel, to get people to subscribe to your channel. I don't know that people make a ton of money on shorts. I could be wrong. I haven't done a lot with the shorts. I've got a few, but it's just, I don't seem to get a lot of views on the shorts. I get way more views on my regular videos than I do on the shorts.
So for those business owners, excuse me, for those business owners listening to this and they haven't made content yet, specifically on YouTube, what do you have to say to them, Bruce?
I mean, it's just kind of, it depends really. You've got to decide what you are, what you want to be, how you want to present yourself to other people.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to offer to other people that they're going to consume? And now some people make a lot of money on YouTube with very few subscribers, but they have a product they sell and they're very effective at that. And some people, they want YouTube to be their business, and that can be very discouraging and frustrating, but you just have to, improve your game on that. You have to just get better each time and try to get, figure out how to do that. And I don't know what to, I don't know what to say. Some people, their business, maybe YouTube isn't for their business, honestly,
True.
but some people can, most people need to advertise somehow. You got to get your word out there. And let me tell you a little story. There's a guy, I told you about the item we're going to give away on our next live next week. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about it some more. Next week on Nature's Image Farm, it's when we're actually going to give it away when he does it on his channel. But it's an extractor. An extractor in honey producing is a machine that spins the honey out of the combs, so you actually can have the honey, and it goes down the side, the extractor comes out the bottom, out of the gate, and then you put it in your buckets or your bottles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have all kinds of those things. Well, there's a company out there called Hilco, Hilco Beekeeping Products or something like that. Hilco Bee Company. I think it's Hilco Beekeeping something. Anyway, Hilco is the name of the company, HILCO, and they have produced a really nice line of extractors. And so I called the company, the owner of the company, John Hill, and I said, look, he's been really good to us. He's a very nice guy. They're a young company. They're trying to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he actually has a guy, anyway, another YouTube guy, Mike Berry, actually bought one of it. He was traveling through Illinois where the company's located and actually stopped in and bought one of those extractors. He did a video on it. And Mike is a friend of mine. He's down in Louisiana, and
Mm-hmm.
very similar to what I do. We do things a lot the same way, but so he bought that extractor. He went in the store and he shot some footage in the store with John and just kind of met everybody, whatever, just kind of did a little tour of the store as he was passing through on vacation, going up north. And John told me, he said, look, he said, I understand the power of YouTube and of this social media type thing. It's particularly YouTube, he said, because he said he sold more extractors just from that one Mike Berry video to make enough money or more money than he would have by paying the guy that he had that he was trying to pay to do his advertising for him, or to figure out, quote unquote, the Google stuff. Because that one video, people watched it. People watched that video, and he sold a bunch of extractors out of that. So he was all about, he gave us a really good deal. We went in partnership with him on this extractor we're going to give away on our live stream. And we've got people signing up for the contest, and there's 200 or 300 people. There's probably at least 150, 200 people already that have signed up for that, if not more. And so people are excited about it. And every time we mention the word Hilco, that's another feather in his cap, so to speak. And he's probably going to sell some extractors from that. And so he just recognized the importance of YouTube and the importance of, just that type of exposure through the content creators. And so he was super excited to help us out on that. I mean, we weren't going to probably be able to pay full price for that thing, but he helped us out, and we did pay for it, but he gave us a really good price on it. And so, we're going to,
he's getting exposure that you can't get, first off, with traditional forms of advertising.
That's right.
Much with any other type of paid advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what he said. He's like, I can go to Bee Culture is a magazine. There's magazines out there, the traditional ways of doing it. There's different things that you can buy ads in, like you said, but he said he just, he understands that this is the direction that advertising is going, and you're in this market too. I mean, all about the Google stuff and how you probably know way more about how
Google
the search engine works, but he's just he's excited to do this, and the younger, newer companies I think are starting to figure this out. And so, and you've got some of these YouTubers that out in the beekeeping world that have more subscribers than me are out there talking about different companies, and these companies are benefiting from that, and they realize that. And it's really, I mean, I get a little bit of AdSense pay for it, and we get a little bit from it. He's actually sent me some other stuff. I'm never afraid to buy stuff. I don't want people to think I'm asking for things for free, but he sent me some more like smaller dollar items just in a box that I can give away on these live streams, just like little hive
Nice.
tools or different tools we can use in the beehive. And so,
And he's
um,
gonna get return on that regardless.
sure. So it's been, those are the type of relationships. I think probably the coolest thing about YouTube, I want to make a little money at it, but I'm not making a living at it by any stretch. It's really somewhat minimal what I make. It is enough to it definitely helps feed the addiction, so to speak, but it's not, I'm not making a living doing YouTube, but the relationships I've earned from the viewers, the
Mhm.
relationships with other people in my same niche that are out there, the beekeeping world. I've met some really neat people, some people that are really high up in the industry just from right here in Dothan, Alabama, just through YouTube. I mean, people all over the world, literally people will comment from Australia and, out West and Germany, all over the world, people comment, the UK. And it's just kind of
Yeah.
neat to see that happen. It's a pretty powerful platform. And YouTube is kind of my sweet spot. I really don't like, I do quite a bit on Facebook too, but not a lot of video stuff on Facebook. But as far as like Instagram, and I do some stuff on Instagram, but I don't understand Instagram like I do YouTube and Facebook. And so I know I could expand. Maybe you can help me with some of that stuff, expand, figure out how to kind of advertise and market, what I'm doing on those channels a little better, on those platforms a little better. But YouTube is kind of my sweet spot. I enjoy it. And I never thought I would have gotten as serious about it as I have, but man, I'm addicted to it. And I feel a responsibility to my viewers, like these 2 honey harvest videos I've got I've got all the footage on my phone or on my camera, and I haven't
Mhm.
even put them on the computer yet. And I'm just going to worry about it until I get those jokers uploaded. Cause I know
Yeah.
I have people asking about it already. Like, where's the video? We're getting to see the video. And so I got to get that done. And so it's fun, man. I'd like to be one of these people that when I have like 1,000 views in 5 minutes, like some of these famous people, but I'm not there yet. But I do get a fair number of views each time.
No, that's awesome. Because here's what I want the small business listening to this to take away from this, and because you're doing this as a side gig that's growing, that's still what you see as growth. But the small business need to understand a few things. First of all, they can benefit greatly from either making YouTube videos themselves or reaching out to influencers like you in their industry to get exposure. Just like that one guy did with his honey with the honey material. What was it called again? Extractor?
Extractor. Yeah. It's
An extractor,
yeah,
yeah.
an extractor.
So
Yes.
there's different ways to leverage it. That doesn't mean that that business has to make content. They can leverage an influencer to make the content for them and see what comes from that. But the biggest thing that I want people, businesses or people listening to this is you just gotta start. You just gotta make your content. And for me, at the beginning, when I started making my first videos, it was great. And now it's work related, but now I understand with my industry, I lean on videos a bit more, probably more than you do, because if I don't make content that day, I don't make money.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that. And so it can get to a lot of businesses where all of a sudden you're monetized and you're getting a small little check, or down the road a larger check from YouTube, and you put that towards whatever you need. Um, Bruce, tell people where they can find you. They want to buy if they want to watch your videos or buy your honey.
My channel is Bruce's Bees. It's just all one word. It's lowercase on YouTube, and I'd love you to check it out and subscribe. I tell people to subscribe if you like what you see. I mean, if it's not your thing, then don't. It's not. If you're not going to watch the videos, then there's really no reason to subscribe. So I'm not out here just begging for subscribers. But just check it out. See if it's something you're interested in. As far as my honey go, and then check out we have a Facebook page. It's called Stream Team. What's it called? Stream Team Beekeeping Chat, I think, on Facebook.
I'll make sure to put those in the show
And
notes.
yeah, just go on there, Tony and Anthony, and just ask to be a member, and we'll invite you to that. You can check us out to kind of see what we're doing on there. And that's 3 channels. Like I say, it's me. We alternate between the 3 of us, so I'm on there about every third week or so. And then as far as buying the honey, I do live here in Dothan, Alabama. We have it. We sell at a few local stores. Uh, I don't know. I can give those stores names out. Is that cool? Well,
Yeah, no, of
we got
course.
the seller here in Dothan. We've got Nuts to Go here in Dothan. We got Appling Farms, and Johnson's Meats, and they all are really good companies. They have some great products, and I'm sure they'd love to have you come visit. And if you don't want honey, you can maybe go check them out just for, the sellers is Fine Steaks and wine. They sell they have really good food there, as well as I guess they sell wine as well, and of course my honey. And then Nuts to Go is kind of, they have like different kinds of nuts. They have ice cream, and they have all kinds of fun stuff there. Appleton Farms is like a kind of a year-round farmers market. They've got all kinds of
That's
food
where
out
I've
there.
seen your stuff personally. I bought in your honey from Appleton Farms.
Yeah, and then Johnson's Meats is in Malvern, not far from Appleton actually, but they sell really good meat down there. They're kind of famous in this area for the cuts of meat that they sell. And so, I've had some other stores starting to reach out to me a little bit and things like that. But once again, it's just, I think as far as small business, I think you hit the nail on the head, Anthony, when you said if someone doesn't want to create their own channel, look, just find a creator that's, and that might be willing to come in and talk to you, and maybe they could share what you're doing, and just work with them. Find somebody that could work with you. You've got a family member who's kind of tech savvy and does videos and stuff. Just have them come and check you out. Even if it's not videos, you can always have someone come and take pictures, post it online on social media. Everybody knows people who are tech savvy who can do that kind of thing for you. And it's worth it to you to get your exposure out there. Even if you're kind of an older company and you don't know much about that, find someone who can help you with that, because it makes a difference, I think. And there's a lot
For
of
those of you businesses listening, this is a service offered by Tech Tony.
yeah, he
A
believe
little plug in there.
it or not, my boss at work at the hospital
Mm-hmm.
is meeting with you currently, Anthony. I don't know if you know. I could maybe on need to tell you on here who that is, but he told me, he's like, oh
We'll
hey, I
talk
met with
off
Tech Tony.
screen.
Yeah, he's like, oh hey,
I
hey,
know
I
who you're
know.
talking about. No, I know who you're talking about. I'm actually calling him tomorrow. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like, I know.
Never
He's
mind, I
like,
remember
hey,
now.
he told me the other day, he's like, I'm meeting with Tech Tony. I'm like, oh, I know Tech Tony. So anyway, we had a fun conversation about that. But anyway, I mean, I could go on and talk about the bees and about YouTube all night long, but it's just something for me that I started off as like something kind of fun to share what I'm doing, and it's turned into, I'm just the type of person that I just got to be getting better and growing at whatever I'm doing. I can't just be stagnant. Sometimes I wish I could, like with the bees, I've got to grow and get more and more than what I really need. And the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. I'm just determined and just really want to get better at it and grow. And
Love it.
got a long ways to go, but we're working on it, man. I'm trying to get there.
I love it. Guys, for everything that we talked about today, links and the descriptions are in the show notes on YouTube and on the podcast as well. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to Bruce. Check out his channel, Bruce's Bees. You want some ideas just to see what gets posted, because whatever you do is going to help your business. It's the fact that you're putting the effort towards it, guys. And until then, we'll talk to you guys all next week. Have a good day. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.